What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first official video of kind of the Merch 30 ramp up period, Merch Focus 30. This video is the first actual video where I have put together some content for you guys and really just starting to dive into the process. So again, to touch on it, my next 30 days here, we're going to do an all-out blitz to focus on Merch by Amazon. And I'm going to do a few days, so a few videos here where I actually do a ramp up period. And my goal is to essentially have everything as in place as possible and automate the process as much as I can so that once we actually start, so that day one, first day, we're hitting the ground running and have already all my templates built out. So for my listings, everything I need for the designer, have an outsourced designer that I trust, at least with a few designs ready to go and kind of know what to expect with them, and then have all the tools and resources that I need in place. So this is the first video, and kind of the biggest things that I'm going to cover right now are two of the biggest things that honestly have scared me a little bit the most and kind of seemed like the biggest hurdles to jump over. So the number one is going to be the budget itself. So I'm going to go over kind of the budget that I have laid out. Now, again, when I first started, I didn't spend any money. I did all my designs on my own, and that's gotten me to where I am right now, so tier 500. But now that we're at tier 500, I have 50 upload slots a day, and I personally can't fill those all on my own, especially considering I'm not a designer and I'm not amazing at designing. So the biggest thing, when I first created the budget, I actually made a bunch of different line items. So I had, all these different tools that I thought I was going to need. Then I had different designers and different categories and thought I was going to do multiple designers, but decided to just dial it back, keep it simple, 100% simple. So there's only two main things that I actually am breaking down my budget here for. The first one is Merch Informer. Now, this is kind of, it seems like the go-to tool. I got it today. So right now, and I'll just go to it. Let's see. Right now I'm on the 3-day trial. So yeah, so we're doing it for free, which hopefully will get us through this kind of ramp up period, let me actually experience it and get into it a little bit. And then, yeah, the one I chose was the $19.99 a month, so $20 a month. And I wanted to just make sure I got all the full features. So yeah, I mean, there's obviously other plans here, but yeah, we'll see. I think where I'm at right now, $20 is going to cover it. So that being said, guys, it looks pretty cool. I haven't really played much with it, but I'm sure I'll do a few videos, kind of my experience with it. So Merch Informer, $20 a month. So that's in the budget. And then the only other line item, the big one, is the designer. So I just broke it down to $480, and I'll explain kind of why. So my all-in budget's going to be $500. Now I'm fine with that because fortunately I've set aside the money just from money I've made so far in kind of my e-commerce venture, and also I have this business model to me is proven. I've actually been selling for about a year and a half, print-on-demand products, on eBay and Shopify and Etsy, and obviously now merch. I think I've done 85 or 86 sales. So I know the concept's there. It's working. I'm ready to double down and spend some money and just kind of see what I can do. So I've never outsourced. I've never done anything like this before. So this will be kind of a fun experience and a challenge for me. But that $480 is going to go to finding a phenomenal designer. And so how it's going to work, I watched a bunch of actually other people's videos and learned from them kind of what's been working for them. And I'll post links in the description to the other YouTube channels and videos that have helped me, because I'm learning here too. So with that being said, though, what I've kind of been actually planning on is essentially doing a trial. So after I actually get some designers that look like they're qualified, I'm going to choose hopefully only one, maybe two, and we're going to do a trial of 5 to 10 shirts. And on those, I'm going to pay closer to $5 a shirt to kind of get the interest there and get the designer in the door. And then I'm going to do bulk packages for the remaining shirts. So again, my goal this month is to fill up my tier 500 slot. I'm at 100, just over 100 uploaded designs right now, so I need roughly 400 more. And I'm obviously going to keep doing some of the simple, text designs and just the stuff that I can handle myself. So really what I'm looking for is roughly 300 designs from someone who knows what they're doing. And yeah, so pretty much the 5 to 10 shirts, we're going to do at $5, and then the remainder of the budget's just going to be used to do 1, 2, 3 different bulk packages with the designer and say, hey, you know, let's get 100 shirts, or let's do 50 shirts, 150, and let's do it at $1 a shirt, $2 a shirt, $3 a shirt. We'll see kind of where that ends up and where we negotiate to. So again, guys, the all-in budget there is $500. So that's kind of where I am right now. I know some of you guys are, you know, maybe using more, maybe using less. I easily could slow it down a little and pay the designer, you know, $100 this month, but you know, money loves speed. And so I'm really of the mindset of like, look, let's go all in. Let's put $500 in this and use it as a test. We're going to use the next 30 days and see what happens. So anyway, so that's the budget. Yeah, we've got that taken care of. So next is the designer. Now this is kind of the big one. This is what I spent most of my day today actually working on. So what I'm looking at is really a few different things. So for the first one, I wanted to build out a template. What am I going to post for the actual job? And I'll go over that in one sec. And then where can you find the actual designers? And hopefully this is not too small. I'm sure this font's extremely small right now. Let's see if I can make that a little bigger. All right, good enough. So the template itself. So I watched, like I said, guys, I watched a few other YouTube videos and kind of took some bits and pieces here and there for the template and then modified it myself. So this is what we've got. So now this, I did create a Facebook group. So if you guys are interested in getting the template or just connecting with anyone else that's kind of following along this process and doing merch themselves or anything else e-commerce related, there is a link to the Facebook group down in the description, but I'll also put the template that I'm using and what I actually posted in that, so you can go ahead and download it, and yeah, if you want to, you can go ahead and use it as well. So I'm not going to read it word for word here, but essentially what I'm saying is our business is looking for the right graphic designer to produce hundreds and potentially thousands of high quality t-shirt designs. Most of the designs will be primarily text, but some will have graphics as well. Then I specify kind of that trial that we're going to do. So I touch on it here. When we begin, I'll give you kind of the niches and topics to produce original designs from. And I also want to say, this I think is important, but mentioning there is potential for a long-term working arrangement. So the reason I think that's important is that kind of vets out the people who are just trying to make a quick buck, which I'm sure most of these, you know, freelancers are anyway, but I think there's definitely kind of a desire to have something a little bit more stable. And if the relationship goes well and hopefully they're a great designer, then there's no reason why we couldn't continue doing this as long as we're getting what we want and making some money too. So about the opportunity, experienced designer needed at $5 per design. So that's for that trial, and less, $1 to $3 per design for bulk orders. For this role, I'm interested in doing bulk orders at a discounted rate after we have established our working relationship. Yeah, so I touched on it already, but to start, I'll provide the guidelines and we kind of will go from there. Now, I do ask them, I do make sure that there's a few things they have to do in order to actually apply, because I want to see that they're actually kind of following my instructions. So really the only main one is please send me 3 to 5 t-shirt designs that you have created for clients in the past in order to be considered. And then I think this has to be in any of these job postings. So any designs, images, or fonts that infringe on IP or copyright will not be accepted. So I want to make sure right off the bat they know it's serious. They can actually follow the instruction right here. And because if they submit something to me right off the bat that's you know, not right, then that's a red flag. So that's why I put that in there. Skills needed are just the basics, and yeah, thanks for your interest. So guys, that is the template I'm using, and we'll see how it works. And then, so we have the template. Next was, yeah, to actually go and build the job listing itself. So a few different sites that I've been using. Number one is obviously Upwork. Now, I just actually posted this today. I don't think I've even had anyone message me or contact me about it because it was maybe 15 minutes ago. Yep, there we go, 14 minutes ago. So yeah, pretty much went ahead through the process here on Upwork and actually created a listing for it. Now, I don't know why the title says that. Okay, here we go. T-shirt designer needed for merch by Amazon. And then, yeah, pretty much just copy and pasted that template in here. I put a fixed price instead of hourly because this is a fixed price project, $300, even though the budget's going to be a little more. And I want someone maybe the intermediate level. The only other thing I think really critical is I did put ongoing project, again, to kind of entice people in that hopefully want to get into something a little bit more serious, and mentioned a few skills here. So anyway, guys, that is the first listing. So Upwork. Now, I've heard a lot of different stories, some that people have had success finding on Upwork, others they haven't. Other people are using Fiverr. Now, Fiverr I'm going to hold off for a little bit on. I'm hoping that I can find a solid designer on one of these other sites, but just to give you guys kind of an example, you know, I did find these on Fiverr. So, for example, this guy, $3 per bulk t-shirt design. So you can see, guys, there's definitely options on Fiverr as well. This guy will do, yeah, 20 t-shirts for 60 bucks. So it's $3. So there's options here, but I'm going to hold off on Fiverr for the time being. Now, the one other site that I do like is onlinejobs.ph. Now, I already have that pulled up. Now, this one, fortunately, I'd already paid for it. So this is specifically a job listing board similar to Upwork, but it's specifically for Filipino workers. And you do have to actually post a job, you do have to pay. I think it's maybe about $100 a month. Fortunately, I did already pay for that, so and I didn't use it, so I got them to actually credit my account this month so that I can actually use it and hire someone. So I'm going to go ahead and post the job on here as well. Let me just go ahead. Let's find an example, though, of one on here. So, oh, I already have it in here. T-shirt design. Yeah, so if you go in, you'll notice, you know, there's already some in here. I'm sure there's a bunch of people using this for merch to find designers. So job overview, looking for a t-shirt illustrator, need 10 designs per week, possibly more in the future. So yeah, and here, these guys, so this is cool. These guys even did, please put in the subject line, Germany. And why they're doing that is kind of what we talked about before, but actually probably to vet out people that, you know, maybe don't understand English well enough, or just that they don't, you know, read the instructions carefully enough. And yeah, so if they don't put Germany in the subject line when they apply, that's a red flag that, hey, they might not necessarily listen. So it's another cool idea as well. So anyway, guys, I think you get the idea. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time posting another job on here, but I am going to, yeah, just monitor the job listing on here. I'm going to add another one to Online Jobs PH, and then we'll check back in tomorrow, and hopefully we have a bunch of candidates in the inbox, and we can go through kind of the vetting process that I'm looking at and try to find someone that works. So with that being said, again, that's pretty much it for the first kind of official video here. If you guys want, the template's going to be in the Facebook group, which the link will be down below. And please give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and a subscribe if you liked this video and the content, or if you just want to follow kind of the next 30-day process. So again, guys, I'm still learning on this, and I want to learn from you and hear from you guys. So any feedback that you have, tools, other people that you're following in this space, or what's worked for you, drop a comment below. And with that being said, we'll see you at the next video.